woman earning more than a man cause problems? My husband wants me to be a housewife, but I want to pursue my career. Must I submit?
Ooh. Of course, he's your husband.
Are prenups a yes or a no? Hey Deku fam!
Hey Deku fam.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
We're back with another video and with a fresh trim. My man is back, baby. He didn't let me cut it because we didn't get to the likes that we wanted, but you know his barber made a visit.
Call the barber to make a visit. He was bellied up. He had gloves and he gave me that fresh trim.
Literally transformation. I know you were doubting Deku about the sexiness of my man, but here he is. He's right here. This is the man that I married, you know?
Yeah, so much excitement every week.
Anyway. We're back with another video and we're finishing off our relationships and career series with a Q&A.
We are indeed. So we put some questions out there on Instagram asking you guys, what are some of the questions that you have in regards to your careers? What are some of the questions you have in regards to your relationship and careers? So guys, in this video, we're going to be answering a few questions.
So let's get into the video. If you're not a Deku fam, become a Deku fam. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Okay, so the first question, what do you both do? Maybe this person's new to our channel, so boom, what do you do?
Okay, so I'm a compliance manager. I work in the finance sector, and my job is to ensure that my firm that I work for adheres to the rules and regulations.
Yep, and I work in software sales, and I work in business development. I basically sell my company's software that they've developed to banks, to institutions, and yeah, that's what I do. Was your career planned, or did you fall into it?
Fell into it. Compliance has been around for a while, but it's kind of a new department to some extent.
Yeah.
Because after the financial recession, there was a need for more compliance professionals. So I came in around 2013. The recession happened in 2008, and there was more compliance professionals needed. And at that point in time, I just kind of fell into the role.
Yeah, and it's actually so aligned to his skill set, so that was really good. And the same with sales. Like, I studied politics and sociology at university. Didn't want to go into politics and was approached by a company to help them do sales, and I thought, yeah, this is aligned to my skill set, so I fell into it and actually realized over the years that this is definitely something.
You know those annoying people that go to the recruitment fair and end up getting a job at the recruitment fair? That was this one.
What can I say?
Had one simple interview and then boom, lands herself a job, where some of us have to go through the process of applying and still get no job, and then finally someone says
Who
yes.
would do sales? Sales is the hardest job ever. Seriously, it's the most
difficult.
Pressurized environment, but yeah, I like it.
So we both kind of fell into our careers in a different way.
Yeah. I have a passion for helping people. What kind of role can I apply for?
This is a very good question for Anna to answer because she loves people, whereas for me, I like to see tasks. Yeah. And I like to just finish a task and move on to the next one.
Yeah, and it's a hard one when it comes to your careers as well, because yeah, it's just difficult. So I think for me, I started in sales. I worked in the corporate organization as soon as I graduated. And I was like, whoa, this is not it. I want to be helping people. I want to bring my skill set to, you know, an organization that I believe in and blah, blah. So I was like, look, you know what? I'm applying for a charity. And I saw a sales job in a charity and I was like, this is it. This is going to fulfill my desire to help people, but still align to my skill set. After going to the interview, I was like, it looks like it's just going to be doing the same administration things that I'd be doing in a corporate organization, but with less like money and things like that. I was like, this doesn't sound like a good deal. So I decided to remain in the corporate world and actually realize that my desire to help people can be fulfilled outside of work. So through other avenues, like mentoring people, through my church, through the things I do in my household and stuff like that. So I think I really was able to then separate the two. I could fulfill my desire to help people, but then also use my career as a way to bring my skill set to an organization and help in that way as well.
Because some people might say they want to be in an organization where they're helping people, but their exact role within the charity is not directly helping somebody. Because people who say that they want to help people, like for example Anna likes to be on the ground with people. So I think if she worked for a charity, it will frustrate her that she's not actually physically helping people, but she's working for an organization that helps people, which is great. But for her need to help people she wants to be looking someone in the eye and having a conversation.
Yeah.
So I think over time she was able to say, okay, I still enjoy my sales job and I'm able to fulfill myself in this sales job. But yeah, I have other avenues to be able to have my outlet to be able to help people, whether that be church or mentoring, etc., etc.
Yeah, 100%. That's such a good summary, because at the end of the day, like, I have a desire to help people, but I also have a desire to, you know, bring income and break bread and eat food at night, and I have a desire to, you know, progress within the career world, and, you know, I want to have both. So I thought there's different avenues to be able to achieve those things. And I think people shouldn't get lost in the idea of helping people and think that you can only do that through your career. Will a woman earning more than a man cause problems? Ooh.
Of course it will. Only if a man is insecure.
Yes.
Let's just say I earn 30k, which is reasonable, and Anna earns 50k, the big bucks. She's the baller, yeah? The only figure I am interested in is the 80k that we're bringing in together, because we are husband and wife, and we share a bank account. So I'm looking at how much are we bringing in together collectively, rather than looking at, oh, I'm only earning 30 and she's earning 50 and I'm Iron Man.
Yeah, that's so true, because we've had seasons in our careers where I've been earning more, other times he's earning more. I get bonuses as well, so like that.
You get commission, I get bonuses.
Oh yeah, you get bonuses, I get commission. So it's just like, it goes up and down depending on the season that we're in. But
what I will say, we do have friendly banter between ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we're always trying to compete with each other in a friendly way.
Because it's hard to compete with me. I mean, like,
because we're trying to level up. Because we're just seeing the more money I bring in, more money goes into the pot. More money Anna brings in, more money goes into the pot.
Yeah.
So we're just literally having a friendly banter, friendly competition to inspire the cause.
Yeah. Off the back of that last question, how important is it for a man to be the breadwinner? What do you think?
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 Okay.
Man of the house?
I will say it's it depends. It depends on how many kids you want. It depends on what in your current job role, what your maternity and your maternity and paternity policy is, and it also depends on how much savings you have. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you plan to have children, do you have enough money to be able for your wife to go on maternity leave? Because that's my only concern. I don't really care about who brings in more money. I'm more concerned about, do we have enough money so that Anna is not stressed when she's going through that process? Because look, she's bringing in a child into the world, and I don't want her to be worried about X, Y, and Z. And I see it as my responsibility to make sure that we break even. For example, we have enough to cover our bills, etc. Anything above that, in terms of who brings in more, I don't care.
And I think it's not wise for the household to be so dependent on the woman.
On both salaries.
On both salaries, because in the time when the woman is pregnant and, you know, she's having a child and she takes maternity leave, you don't want there to be a strain to the point where the needs of the household are no longer being met.
100%. So what we need to be doing in the process, and what we've actually tried to fight to do, is try to live below our means to the point where we're dependent on my salary, and then we can, for example, save Anna. So when we have children, we're already living on a lifestyle where we live on one person's salary. So like I said in the last video, because my wife is super random and she can make a decision to quit a job at any day.
No, you would never let me.
No, that's true. But you just gotta live below your means so that you can actually stack up, rather than trying to live outside of your means, living up to the point of both salaries. That's not wise, because if something happens, it's hard to have, you know.
And I think that's the mistake a lot of couples make, where they see themselves in such a strong position because, we're both working, we're both bringing in a lot of money, and then you're living on that lifestyle, and then all of a sudden when the lady is pregnant, it becomes so difficult, and maybe she's forced to go back to work when she's not ready to, because, you know, your expenses are too high and things like that. So in that sense, yes, the man should be the breadwinner, and the man should be thinking about the needs of the household, and from a wisdom perspective, that should be covered by their own salary. Are prenups a yes or a no?
Interesting. Well, I am aware that we come from a very privileged position in this, because we were both broke together.
We met when we were young.
We met when we were 20-ish, 20? When we were 20.
Uni, no salaries.
Exactly, no salaries. we got married, I was 25, Anna was 24.
Yeah, and we're leveling up together.
So everything that we're building
was a
us.
contribution
Yeah, we
the
contribute.
other.
So we deserve pieces of the pie if anything happened, okay? But if I was working in McDonald's and Anna was a millionaire, I would understand why she would
be like prenup jokes.
However, the Bible says we are one. So run me my money, fam. Upgrade my life. Upgrade my life. Look, we are one in this, and I think from a Christian perspective, I don't think we can stand on any scripture that would justify us having a prenup.
Nope.
Look, if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. Let me know. But I don't think we can stand any scripture that would agree to us having a prenup.
Yeah, and I think marriage is a risk. You know, I think a prenup is basically saying
insurance.
It's insurance. If something goes wrong, but at the end of the day, we don't believe that that's the case because we don't believe in divorce.
Why are you having a get out clause for something you're not supposed to get out of?
That's it. That's the line. And so I guess we, know that marriage is a risk, but it's a risk worth taking after evaluating the person and,
There's something beautiful in knowing that someone can destroy you, but they don't.
Yeah.
And I think that is the beauty of trust, relationship, love, and what we get to celebrate day in and day out of our marriage.
There's a vulnerability that comes with stepping into marriage, There's a risk that you're taking to say, actually, I'm not going to do this on my own. I'm choosing to put my life together with yours, be one, and tackle this thing we call life for God's glory. So, For
your glory.
So, in that... with that description and explanation, we just don't believe in prenups.
We don't believe in prenups at all.
Do you have any advice for a person that lied about their salary during the dating phase but wants to come clean? Ooh.
You're a liar.
It's hard, I think, because obviously in the dating phase, you're
out here renting shoes,
putting your best foot
renting
forward.
bags, renting makeup.
People are putting their best foot forward. You want to come across like really well, and you may be intimidated by the person that you're sitting in front of, and you're like, actually, my salary is X, which is probably 10k, 20k more than what you're actually on. It's hard, and yes, it was wrong to lie, and it's good that you feel convicted and you want to
deal with the consequences. But that's what Anna's trying to say.
Yeah,
deal with the consequences.
Definitely tell the truth. Sit them down in the right environment when things are good, and tell them your heart. Apologize. Give them the why. Yeah, give them the why of why you did that at that point in time. Say you're sorry, and you have to deal with the consequences of that. They may need a bit of time, but hopefully they don't, and you can continue as normal. But I think it's time to deal with the consequences of that action. But it's good that you want to confess, and you definitely should confess before you go into marriage.
That's great.
Anything to add?
Ask for forgiveness.
Yeah. How do you tell someone that you want more even if they don't? Ooh, do you know what that means? How do you tell someone that you want more even if
maybe someone who wants more of like, I guess, a lifestyle, or they want their partner to be more ambitious or something like that?
Okay, that's a good question. What do you say? Because that's probably a lot of people's situation. They want their partner to have more ambition, they want more in life. How do you tell them? I think everything is a conversation, isn't it?
Conversation, definitely.
Yeah, I think you should always be sharing your heart with the person. Like, there's no point in the journey where Gabes and I have not known where the other person stands because of our constant communication. Yeah. And that has to be daily, weekly, monthly, because people change at the end of the day. People have different desires. So maybe this person's desire has changed and they now want more. How do they have that conversation?
And I think that's why we talk about in a dating phase, like making sure that your value system, because someone might not actually have the ambition to really work hard to try and earn a certain amount of money. They might just be comfortable earning minimum wage, living in a small apartment, living a frugal life, and that is absolutely okay. But if that is not your desire, then you have to question, like, can you actually walk this out together? Because you don't want to be in a position where you're overspending, they're pulling you down, and then you're arguing, because money is one of the reasons that people argue and get divorced. So we have to be mindful of that. So we want to be making sure that as we're going through the process of dating, that you're having these conversations to ensure that you're on the same wavelength.
When can I quit my job? Asking for a friend. I wonder who this came from.
The next question is also quite similar, so we did them together.
Okay, and what is that? Should you encourage your partner to follow their passion, or what will benefit you both in the household?
Very good question. I have some opinions on this.
Okay, go on.
Where do we start? I would say this whole follow your passion thing it's a privilege and it comes at a sacrifice. It's a privilege. Let's just say that Anna and I are barely getting by and barely paying our bills. If I now decide that I'm going to go and follow my passions, I think personally that is selfish and is sabotaging the household. Because now we're going from breaking even to now me stepping away to go and pursue some passion that is not guaranteed. Now Anna has to foot the bill and it's going to be a struggle in the household. And I think that's a bit selfish. Now let's just say that this person is a bit further. They can afford the bread, they can afford the cheese, they can afford the ham in the sandwich, So now we're doing a little bit better. Now if I decide again that I want to go and follow my passion, now I need to have a conversation with Anna and say, look, I'm following my passion, but our household, our lifestyle is going to change because we're not going to be able to do the things that we did before. Are you okay with that? If she agrees, cool.
That's good, because I think there's been moments in my career where I've just been like, look, I am done with this. But at the end of the day, we're in a household where it's not just me. If it was just me and my own life that is going to affect, and I'm, going to be homeless on my own, like, sofa crash on people's sofas and things like that, then that's different. But now I have a family, I have a responsibility to be doing what's best for the household, which means in the short term, some of my personal desires might have to be sacrificed for the sake of the household.
Exactly.
So, it would be selfish for me to try to go on as though I am single when really I'm in a relationship. Exactly. And I think people don't really want to have that conversation because they want the best of both worlds. They want to act like they're single but in a relationship and the comfort of a relationship, which is not realistic. So,
and with this passion you've got, if Anna came to me with this passion that she wants to now go and pursue, I want to see a business plan. I don't want to just receive an idea of you just sitting on the toilet and then think it's a good idea, and now you're going to now go and jeopardize our family for this idea. Give me a business plan. I want to know that it's been well thought out and that you have every eventuality thought out. And now the next thing is you got to ask, okay, is there a market? You want to see that the person has been putting in the work to try and achieve this passion, because you've got your 9 to 5, but you've got your evenings. Like, try and make it work in the evening. Don't just quit your job and then go and now pursue this other thing. So has there been some sense of attraction? Is there a market growing for this? And the next thing I want to see your motivation. Don't just because there's a market and you've achieved good success over 1 month. I now want to see whether you're motivated. I want to see you go through this for a couple of months, maybe even years, to see that you're motivated.
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it? And then, you know what? Take the risk, follow your passion.
100%. Because literally leaving the stability of a paying job
to go and make t-shirts
is not wise.
It's not wise.
It's not wise at all. So, back to the question, which was about when can I quit my job? Basically, I hope we gave you the answer on that one.
When it's been well thought out, there's a market, and what was the last thing? You've got the motivation to actually go and, because it's actually a privilege. Say, for example, your passion is not really to even make money or whatever. Then there needs to be a certain amount of money in the household to allow you to go and fly.
And should you encourage your partner to follow their passion?
Of course you should.
And you definitely should, but I think there's a time for everything. Even Michelle Obama, when you watch her documentary on Netflix, she talks about giving up her desires for a season, which was 8 years.
It was 20.
Was it 20?
It was 20.
Oh my days. 20 years, because she knew Obama would want to be president. So she put that on hold, and it's only now.
And now you've got becoming.
So it's just like, those are the types of conversations that people are having, couples are having behind the scenes, because it's not a have your cake and eat it at the same time. It's like seasonal, it's conversational, there's sacrifice that needs to be made, there's compromises, all of this stuff. And you
know what? Trust God. If the idea came from the Lord, it will come into fruition. You may not know how, but in His timing, it will come.
100%. Last question.
What's that one?
My husband wants me to be a housewife, but I want to pursue my career. Must I submit?
Ooh. Of course, he's your husband.
Oh my days.
Submission is one of those things. I think we've even done a series about this whole submission thing.
Yeah, we have.
But when it comes to submission, I think we both have to submit. I feel like for us personally, what works well is that we have a lot of conversations about what we're doing, where we're going. We're always reviewing, and we both submit to the plan. We review the plan, and then we both submit to the plan again. And it's just kind of this, you know, rather than now Anna just come with a random idea, and then now I'm like, no, submit to me. It's like, no, we stick to the plan, and we agree to this plan for a certain amount of time. When that time comes to an end, then we review the plan, and then we go again. So for us, it's just a constant cycle of dream, review, and then we kind of stick to the plan.
But if your husband wants you to be a housewife, but you want to pursue your career, I want to pursue my career, but you want me to be a housewife and stay at home with the children.
I think it all depends on like the values and the goals that we've set. Because some things that we may say, like our dreams and desire, for example, we may not believe in the school system, and we may think that the things that they're putting in the curriculum is not suitable for our child. And you agree with that fact. So now we need to be like, okay, what is the best thing for our household? And it might be more suitable for you to stay home, and you know, so it's like putting together the values, putting together the goals, rather than I'm an African man, stay at home and wash my feet.
I think that's a really important point. It's a discussion, and I mean, it's all values driven. Like, what's the why behind what we're doing? Because the end goal is not for me to pursue my career and for that to be successful.
And neither is it for me to pursue my career. It's like, what is the best thing for our household?
And how does it align to our values as Christians? So for us, it's like, okay, if it is our children and we're both aligned and we're saying, actually, we don't agree with the school system. We think it's really important for our children to spend time with their parents and, you know, that then be sewing into them for hours on end. Like, then if that's the value, then something has got to give. Like, my career has literally got to give in that moment for the sake of the household.
But it will be a conversation and it's a decision that we've made together. It's not like a decision like you have to give up your thing for the sake of, you know, but it's like a conversation. Like, this is a decision that we've got to make, and this is how we're going to pursue it.
And at the moment we're not aligned. Lord, let's pray about it. Let's read the word about it. Let's
seek counsel
about it. Let's do this because we're not on the same page. Like, it's a journey. It's not.
It's a difficult one.
It's not black and white, easy to navigate situation, and it is a difficult one, most definitely. But yeah, I think it always goes back to your why, and I think there are a lot of cases where you actually do have to die to self and think, okay, it's not my desires, but the desires of our household, and I am here to submit to my man as well. And you know, in a lot of cases, am I doing that? That's the question we have to ask ourselves, especially as women. That's it. That's all the questions on the careers and relationship series. We hope you really enjoyed that series. We hope it gave you some food for thought when it comes to your relationship and how to navigate it in the context of your careers.
Peace.
See you later, baby. Bye.